Hausa and Fulani, we need to have a public divorce, because you see the shit that's going on. Fulani is every problem that everyone has in northern Nigeria with the north. It's with Fulani. But there is a small group who infiltrated the Hausas. I am Hausa, he's Fulani. We don't speak the same language. The only thing we have in common is Islam. These people originally, Nigerian Fulanis originally, you look at them, they're not even from Nigeria, right? Okay, let's give it, they've come to Nigeria, they're now Nigerian, fuck it. They live in the north, fuck. We're not the same people. Hausa Fulani is the same thing as saying Igbo Ibibio or Yoruba Irobo. We are literally not the same. And Hausas, unless we come out and start disowning these people, everyone in Nigeria is going to hate us. Because anyone that...
Hello and what's up, guys? In this video, we are diving into a serious issue shaking the north to its core. The Hausa people are speaking out, rejecting the Fulani and calling for a public split. They say enough is enough. Their reputation is being destroyed and they want the world to know the truth. For years, many Nigerians have assumed the Hausa and Fulani are the same people, but this video proves otherwise. One Hausa man boldly declares, "We are different. The Fulani have infiltrated us, used our name, and dragged us into their actions. It is time for a public divorce." Since the recent violent incident in Edo State, the frustration in the north has reached a boiling point. Communities are no longer waiting on the government to protect them. People are standing up to defend themselves against the menace of Fulani herdsmen, who have been accused of lawless killings and destruction of farmlands. With little action from authorities, many feel the only option left is to fight back. One major concern raised in this video is how the Fulani have positioned themselves as a hidden force controlling political power in the north, from Sokoto to Kaduna, Zamfara to Kano. The powerful Fulani oligarchy holds the key to leadership, while the Hausas, despite being the majority, are left as mere voters, pushing Fulani into power. Many Hausa people now believe they have been manipulated for centuries, ever since Usman Dan Fodio's jihad. The video you are about to watch exposes how the Fulani gradually took over Hausa lands, infiltrated leadership, and imposed their influence. It also reveals shocking details about how Fulani herdsmen operate freely with weapons, moving from farm to farm without consequences, while local farmers are left defenseless. Guys, I will let you watch this video for yourself so you can see exactly what I am talking about. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look, guys, and remember to share your thoughts after watching.
Yeah, see, what we're not gonna do is do this shit. You see, what a lot of... I said I was going to strictly keep my account political, but this is political, I guess. See, what a lot of Nigerians don't know is Hausa and Fulani are two completely different people. We have different well, we're not the same. Even genetically, Hausas are more closer related to Igbos than they are to Fulani. Fulani is literally like... Hausa and Fulani, we need to have a public divorce, because you see the shit that's going on. Fulani is every problem that everyone has in northern Nigeria with the north. It's with Fulani. But there is a small group who infiltrated the Hausas. I am Hausa, he's Fulani. We don't speak the same language. The only thing we have in common is Islam. These people originally, Nigerian Fulanis originally, you look at them, they're not even from Nigeria, right? Okay, let's give it, they've come to Nigeria, they're now Nigerian, fuck it. They live in the north, fuck. We're not the same people. Hausa Fulani is the same thing as saying Igbo Ibibio or Yoruba Irobo. We are literally not the same. And Hausas, unless we come out and start disowning these people, everyone in Nigeria is going to hate us. Because anyone that's watching, do you know what's going on? So, Fulani herdsmen, they're a group of people in Nigeria. His people, Fulanis, they're herdsmen. They're lawless in Nigeria. They have guns. They're the only people in Nigeria who are allowed to carry guns. They have guns. They walk around all of Nigeria. They'll go to anywhere. They'll go into anyone's farm and they'll let loose their sheep on their cows on the farms, right? If the owners of the farm try to fight back, and the government does nothing, because the Fulanis are a very powerful, tiny minority in Nigeria. But they hide under now, I'm Hausa, we're a majority in Nigeria. The Fulanis now see themselves as, they hide as a subgroup under Hausas. So they now use they fooled Hausas into thinking that we are not one. This dude, you need to stop this fucking shit you're doing. This is bullshit. We are collateral damage. Hausas are just there needs to be publicly, Hausas need to start coming out publicly and disowning Fulanis. We have nothing to do with these people. This is outrageous. We have lived in peace with every tribe in Nigeria for as long as that land has existed. The moment the Fulanis came in, every issue everyone has in Nigeria is with Fulani. But Hausas, for some reason, we keep going down as collateral damage just because we are attached to these people. This is outrageous, man. This is fucking insane. Like, his argument now is saying that, like, the Fulanis, right? Right now in Nigeria, they went to a group of them, and they've killed almost 20 people on a farm because the people fought back. They did not want their crops eaten. That's a problem in Nigeria right now. This man's argument is, okay, so my people came into your town and killed your people, but what reputation do your people have globally? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What the fuck does that have to do with anyone knows this? Yeah, these are the type of people we need to be beaten in. You know, I take that back. I take that back. We don't need to be beating people like this, but
Eastern people, they cannot differentiate between Hausa and Fulani. They cannot differentiate because of they are all from North and they are all Muslims. Whereby there is a big difference between Fulani and Hausa. It is not the same tribe. Fulani is different, Hausa is different. But they are all Muslims. We the Hausas, among us, we have Christians, the indigenous. We have them. In Plateau State, we have them. We have them in Kano, the indigenous, we have them. We've been together for long. We don't have any problem together. But the Igbos, Yoruba, we don't fight ourselves. We don't have problem. During our ancestors. It's only when these people, Fulani people, enter the North through the Hausa people enter there. As they enter there, they bring religion and they are talking nonsense. The religion is not what is inside the Quran they are saying. What they are saying, they are trying to put our heads together so that we hate ourselves and fight ourselves so that they will dominate our land. That is their plan. And nobody is noticing that. You see? They capture everyone. Look at the governors in northern Nigeria. They are all Fulanis. If I begin to call names for you right now, I can call 10 names and they're all people that they can say in the northern Nigeria. But look at please what is happening in the northern Nigeria now. Zamfara, Sokoto, Katsina, Kaduna, look at what is happening. Bandit, Fulani bandit, look at what they are doing. They even have confidence to come on social media to post and even chat, live chatting with them. Conversing, live chatting with bandits on social media. Look at what they are doing. Even before this accident that happened in Orumi, if you notice what is happening in Nigeria, the whole Nigeria, even not Nigeria, the West African country, we are talking about Fulani headmen, what they are doing, bandits. Before this accident happened, the matter is Fulani people, what they are doing. Now they want to turn this in so that they will block our minds. We cannot talk about their what they are doing, the kind of people they are doing. So that we will put ourselves on this problem of Urumi, and that is why you see we the Hausa people in the northern Nigeria, we are not supporting them, and we will not fight anybody. We will not fight. That is why we are talking on social media to our people. No any Hausa man should rise and say you want to do something about what he didn't know. If it's Fulani people, it is Fulani people, bandits. That is it. Because we ourselves, they disturb our place in the northern Nigeria. Everywhere is Fulani problem. Everywhere if you go. Look at the Plateau State, what they did in Plateau State. Come to West Africa, look at Burkina Faso, recently what they did to Fulani people. Because of what they are doing to them over there. Look at Mali, look at Senegal. Everywhere is Fulani problem. They just connect our head together so that we will fight ourselves, They can't say they are doing religion. Which religion? Religion didn't teach anything like that. They say the indigenous are Christian. We should not follow them. This and this. We should marry 4. We should bomb plenty. But them, they are marrying only 1. So that we the Hausa go bomb plenty. So that if they come during politics, we'll go vote for them to get in power. More. They are using us. We'll bomb plenty. So that during election, it's our vote they use. But it is them that are winning. And it is them that are staying there. Look at the governors. Look at everybody. Even the imam. Even the chef. Sheikh. All are Fulani people in Nigeria. Let me tell you. I'm a northern man. The sheikh, all these Gumi, all those people, all are Fulani people, and they are supporting them, because look at what Gumi said the other time when they are interviewing him. He said they want to go bush and fight our soldiers. When he knows that he made mistake, then he quickly changed. He said they want to go and fight our people. But you say you are soldiers. Look at, they know about everything that is happening. The other time they send a helicopter in the Hausa environment, they go and buy them. They say it's a mistake, whereby they are aware the person that sent that is a major, is a Fulani man. Intentionally send that helicopter. Several times we saw them in the bush. They bring helicopter down. They are supplying things, their ammunition. They speak their language. They take the thing inside to the bush. We see it even in social media. Helicopter. So the problem of this country is Fulani people. I swear to God, if there is a way we can chase these people from Nigeria, Nigeria will be a better country, because Nigeria have everything. Forget about America, London, what. All, wallahi, Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. But these people destabilize Nigeria.
What no man has joined together, hey, let no man put us under. I think it is late for an Hausa man, or for the Hausa people, to come out to publicly divorce, disown the Fulanis. As far as we are concerned, we have seen how the Hausa people have laid claims to be one with the Fulanese. While we in the South know that the Hausas were conquered under the Uthman Dan Fodio jihad within a period of 50 years. The jihad started in 1804. But before that time, Uthman Dan Fodio had already penetrated the Hausa kingdom, who were largely pagans in those years. Within a period of 1775 to 1804, Uthman Dan Fodio integrated himself into the traditions of the Hausas. They moved largely from the Biu in Burkina Faso, Senegambia, Futajalon. These were the places they moved down into Kano State, because they found that Kano was an arable land, a green land filled with fertile soil, and they thought that this is a place we could reside. Indeed, we could even usurp their lands. And within a period of 30 years or more, which Madam Fodio integrated so well, when it got to the time he was ready to take the political power, then he did what we call, sex evangelism. They began to give out their children, which were majorly females, to the kings of the Hausa people, because the Fulanis were mostly light skinned. They were light skinned. These were people who were barbers. They were just like, have you seen the Moroccans? Have you seen the Mauritius? Light skinned. These are people who are more or less like the descendant of the Moors who conquered Spain in the 15th century, when the Ottoman Empire was at its peak, and then they migrated down into Africa from Spain, right from Egypt, Tunisia, and Co. These were their ancestors. Uthman Dan Fodio knew what he was doing when he got into the Hausa land, because they were largely illiterate. Uthman Dan Fodio brought in education to the Hausa people, which of course was Arabic. All right, he taught them the Islam. He taught them how to read and write the Quran. And when it got to a point that he felt, okay, I have civilized these people, but there's only one thing that I've not been able to achieve: the political power. And that was when he started his conquest. That conquest, past 250 years, is still as influential as at 1804 when it began. We can see today that there's no Hausa man that can achieve any political post in an Hausa land without the approval of a Fulani man. You can see the Ados, Bayaros, the Sanusis, the Sultanates, within the axis of Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, Kano, Kaduna, Gombe, Bauchi, all of them are being controlled by the Fulani oligarchs. So for the Hausa man to come out today and tell us in the South that we should take note that we are not the same. In fact, that Gothic Aboki that we just watched his video at the beginning of this my conversation, he said the Hausa people are genetically even closer to the Igbos. Though I've started seeing Igbo comments who are saying that for we're tough, or forbid, we can never. But one thing I know is the Hausa people naturally, in their natural form, ab initio, are very tolerant. Yes, the Hausa people are very, very tolerant, very friendly. You will see that the Hausa people will have closer ties with Igala, with the Biroms, with the Gwari people of the Southern Kaduna people. So the Hausa people were largely farmers. These were people who would just welcome you if you're a stranger, who are ready to give you a shelter. They don't see you as an enemy instantly. You approach them, and they don't ever think of maybe usurping your land whatsoever. But when the likes of Uthman Fodio got into their midst, they got radicalized, you know, they got manipulated of the Fulani hegemony. I mean, what we see today is the Hausas are at best voters. That's what they are. They are at best voters, voting the Fulani people into power. In Kano State, the guy who is there is, of course, a Fulani man. In Katsina State, which was predominantly an Hausa land, but go and check the governors, the past governors. Historically, they have always been a Fulani man. Look at the presidential positions within the period of 90s, pre-colonial era, into the colonial era, into the post-colonial era. Who are those that have always held on to the political positions in the corners? These have always been the Fulanis. And somehow the Fulanis have been able to have an incursion into the Middle Belt. It got to a point they had an incursion into Adamawa. Adamawa, which was never an original Fulani land. In fact, they had one of the bloodiest war in Adamawa, whereby they dethroned the local chiefs. They installed, because they tried to penetrate the El Kanemi Empire, which was the what? It can be the El Kanemi are in the Borno, the Maiduguri. Because they failed, they descended on Adamawa. So their descent into Adamawa, they almost 95% annihilated all the local chiefs who were the original land owners of that place. But we can see that over 200 years later, Fintiri, Governor Fintiri of Adamawa State today, has done one thing nobody has got the balls to do in the past 2 centuries. He collected the titles from the Fulanese, the chieftaincy titles, and he gave it back. He returned it back to the original owners of those titles. These were titles that dates back 500, 700, 800 years ago. But all of a sudden, when the Fulanese, invaded the land, they just usurped everything that has to do with the local chiefs. Imagine the Borgu of Niger if the Fulanese have their way. It will no longer be a Nupe man that will become the exe of Nupe. It will no longer be a Nupe man that will become the Borgu of Nigeria. It will not be a Fulani man. Is that not what they were trying to do in the Alafin of Oyo? Is that not what they were trying to do with the Alafin of Oyo when they wanted to push a man who got trained, indoctrinated in the palace of the Sultan? But thankfully to Sheyi Makinde, who saw the inadequacies, who saw this is a trick from my northern brothers. If I let this guy get into that Emir Palace, they will go in there and dilute the Yoruba culture, because that is what they will do. Look at what is going on in Iwo, right? Just take a look at what is going on in Iwo of Oniwo land. When that man was about to become the king, he went through the rites, the traditional rites every Yoruba king will go through, where they go into a coven, they spend 20-something days, they eat all manners of sacrifices. But when he came out, he got married to a Fulani woman, and all of a sudden, he said he doesn't believe anymore in the gods of the Yorubas. Now what he believes in is a God that resides in Medina, Mecca. And we know what is going on today in Offa, wherein the tradition of the Yoruba is now being eroded. It is now being eroded. They no longer have chief priests come into the palace to, check using the divinity, using the Orumila and all those things. They don't check, they don't ask the deities anymore. What they now have in the palace of Offa is the Islamic clerics are the ones that go in there, do the preaching. Offa has now become a ghost, a shadow of itself. This was the plan of the northern hegemonies with the Fulani, with the Oyo, highest, most powerful seat, which is the Alafia for Oyo. If they had succeeded within a period of 3-4 years, you start seeing that the Alafia for Oyo is now an ardent Muslim. He will now become the man who said he's against Shango worshiping. Well, they'll start placing ban on traditional worshippers, just as they have it done in Osun State. The last time that we saw a woman, an Obatala worshipper, on a day that they celebrate Obatala, she was almost stoned to death by Muslim clerics, and these are Arabic scholars who are Yorubas. Well, because the king of the land approves it, that anything that is against Islam should be condemned in its entirety. This was what gave them the impetus. So the Hausa Fulanis, the Hausas, or whatever they are called, at this stage, like the song that I sang at the beginning, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. The Hausa people, when you go there, they will tell you, hey, we are one. In fact, there is a new there's a new tribe now. When you have a form in Nigeria, when they want to fill it, they write Hausa Fulani. You know what that means? The Fulani have been able to colonize the Hausa people, and the Hausa people cannot confidently stand on their own and say that this is who we are. They have any opportunity to rise across the political ladder without the position, without the approval, without the nod of the Fulani hegemonies. There's no way out of it. There's no way out of it. Look at Kano State. In Kano State, I don't think they've ever had one Hausa man who is their governor. There's always been Fulanis, Aba Gida, Kwankwaso, what's it called, the very popular man, Kwankwasia. Then we had the last one before this, Aba Gida, who is the current APC chairman. All of them, go and check them, Fulani, go to Kaduna, Fulani. Whenever a Fulani man is not there, you know what will happen? They will plan a coup, or they'll just do something to frustrate him, or they just kill him. That's what they do. Go to Zamfara, go to Katsina, go to Bauchi. Bauchi was, let me tell you the story of Bauchi. Bauchi were at a point predominantly Christians. Bauchi has a direct connection with Plateau State. And during the colonial era, the Plateau people were they were cousins with the Bauchi people. This is the pre-colonial era, So the Bauchi was largely tolerant. Most Igbos had a pathway into Bauchi. If you go to Bauchi, especially in southern Bauchi, you find a lot of Igala Birom, Langtang. Southern Bauchi was predominantly Christians, and they started having their tentacles even into the northern Bauchi. But you know what happened? When the jihad came, Bauchi became the slave capital city of Udman Dan Fodio. Bauchi became the slave capital city of Udman Dan Fodio. And that is why we have today that amongst all the states in Northeast, where you have the largest numbers of Fulanis is Bauchi State. Yes, a state that was never meant for Fulanis. I can argue that even Bauchi has more Fulanis than Kano State. This is why you see Bala Muhammad, the governor, will come out and say that my state is a Fulani state because we are 85 Fulanis with 4 days. In fact, if you check their state logo, you will see what they wrote there. It is a cow head, which means that they are pastoral farmers. And when you want to connect the dots, who are those that are largely known for cattle rearings? In Nigeria, we know it is not the Hausas because the Hausas are largely farmers. It is not the Igbos because we know that the Igbos also are largely farmers. It is not the Yorubas because the Yorubas, we know them too because they are largely farmers. It is not the Gwari because we know that the Gwari people are also largely farmers. We know that those who can die or kill for a cow are the Fulanis, and this is their agenda. So for the Hausas to come out seeking for a differentiation, I don't know, but as for the Yorubas, we know that the Hausa and the Fulanis will not be the same. They don't tie una placenta together. There is no going back, because if a Fulani man is not in the position where he is being discussed, an Hausa man will defend him. That's just the truth. A Fulani man might not reciprocate the same thing for the Hausa man, but an Hausa man has accepted his faith to serve the Fulani man all his life. That is just the plain truth. That is what it is. It is just the plain truth. So you trying to come out and say that, well, it is too late. The Middle Belts know their identity. They did not lose their identity. But I can categorically say that the Hausa people have lost their identity. I don't think they have any tradition that they still observe today that has not been infiltrated, that has not been diluted by the Fulani hegemony. Because all the kings and chiefs of the Hausa land today are being held by the Fulanis, who of course would have changed it to suit their narrative.